Hello, everybody. If you missed my live stream earlier, that was a lot of fun. I found this slot machine bank thing that actually works like a slot machine, and it's live. You can go watch it. It actually drops coins just like a slot machine back in the days used to. Anyway, my initial report is going to be on the fact that recently silver opened up out of the gate on the market today up. Now, will it stay? That's the big question. It's hard telling because the price of silver does what the price of silver does. Now, we'll check real quick. Okay, it is still up at the moment. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about my treasure chest challenge. It's pretty well kind of over. And the reason why I say that is because when I take into account what I have here plus all the other coins that were in it, and if you watched my stream the other night, you got to see it. It's loaded up to the point now where when I drag the ruler across the top, it barely clears. So this is to all y'all stackers who were doing it. New Silver Stacker, McDonald Boyan, Jay Parker, and Wasatch Wizard. You all had treasure chests, and you're all doing this. Now, does that mean I'm done buying this kind of silver? Slick, beat up stuff? The answer to that is an emphatic no. I am not done because I am a silver stacker and collector, and that's just the way it is. It's what I do. It's what I like. I like silver. I like this as a savings account. And we talk about, they had a question a while back that was posed. Should you stack silver if you have debt? And I answered that one in that video. But as to right now, my channel seems to be going pretty well. I'm getting more views now than I used to, and the subscribers are going up quicker. I think that might be in part because I busted the 1K subscriber, and I thank everybody that has subscribed and watches my videos. But I think I'm going to start laying out a pile of silver like this for the videos for the time being. And I did get a couple things. And let's talk about what I got. Now, somebody clipped the edges off this board, the cardboard here. This is a 1908 Orleans Mint. And I believe this is going to come out of this holder because I don't like this being clipped like this. But what can you do? If you look at the old price, it was 8 and now it's 11. That's the rising of silver price. Now, let's have a good look at this one. Get this up here. First off, this was only $2.25. I don't know how well you're going to be able to tell this. But to me, this dime on the front here looks like it's been antiqued. A process they do to silver to make it look this kind of color. It's not shiny. It might just be toning though. The back doesn't look the same. It looks just like a circulated mercury dime. But it might not be that easy to tell in this video when you're looking at this what I'm talking about. You see, in person, it stood out when I picked it up and looked at it. Hello, Martin. How you doing? Um, Good to see you. Now, this you're gonna catch me live a lot because on the weekends I live stream pretty much every night. I don't care if some of the bigger channel guys are streaming it right now or will be later. I'm still gonna go ahead and do it, and whatever happens, happens. But I like this dime. Like I said, it looks like it's been antiqued on the face of it. Now, never mind that what looks like a scratch. That's just the plastic right here on the cheek. That's not the actual coin. I move it, you can see the scratch stayed and the coin moves. So the coin itself is not scratched. But this does look like an antiquing job was done to it. And this, like I said, this 1908 mint one. AG Stackers out there, maybe he'll show up and see this. This coin's probably coming out of this holder, and I might get a different one. I just like them to be square, and this one, I don't know why they did this to it, but in fact, I'm considering throwing this in my pile of $50 here in the treasure chest challenge. Now, these are all the ones I got recently that were $9.25 a piece. This is a Denver Mint one, 1906. There's two Denvers, two San Franciscos, and a Orleans Mint one in this. Remarkably enough, the 1908 is the same one as this, or same year, but that's okay. And like I said, every one of these has this kind of stuff on the back. I don't know exactly what happened to them, but it happens. But the best way to take these out is just to hold the coin and press it out. But I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to take this one out of this holder yet or not. I don't like this, but it is what it is. Out of all these coins, the most recent ones I got are really slicks, really heavy slicks. I can get some more of these from the same guy and get them pretty cheap. These would probably be worse than coal if you went to buy them at AmpMex or some other place. Remarkably enough, the rims on these three still have reading in there. I don't know. I guess these got slid around a lot and not really on the edge of them because, like I said, their reading's pretty sharp. But I mean, the other ones I got that are similar kind of thing, like this Dateless Beast Dollar. The rim is really worn smooth, so and so is this one. These were the first two coins I bought for my Treasure Chest Challenge dollar coins. They were $16 and $17 in January, and all these other ones were varying prices. I mean, including, there's really nothing bad about this 21. It's a Philadelphia one, just a very common Morgan dollar that's generally circulated. But it wasn't real expensive. None of these were. Now, this particular one is not actually in the Treasure Chest Challenge. It's just laying here because it's always on my table, along with, I usually try to put this out all the time too, and the old wedding band Churchill coin, and around here somewhere there was another one where Queen Elizabeth was up. Where is it? Oh, it's buried underneath the Frosty sticker. I guess next year some of the Britannias will still have her on them. and then they'll transition to Charles, which is to be expected, but I'm not a real big fan of Charles. Most people would like to see him abdicate and let his son be king, but that's not really up to us to decide. That's up to him. But all these Morgan dollars were relatively cheap in terms of how much they cost. Now, this fell out of my treasure chest when I was emptying it from yesterday, and was on the table, and I didn't get it back in the bag. Now, about the bags. We will go ahead and pile up this stack of dollar coins, of which there are all these dollar coins. $13. 7 more dollar coins, and I will have a roll of coins, dollar coins, in my treasure chest challenge. We'll set these over here for the time being. So I can kind of move this. We'll move this back. And that there. Throw that lone dime out. I'll just kind of move this to the forefront. As you can see, the bag there is pretty full, but that's not all of it. It's not nearly all of it, because this bag is also in the treasure chest challenge. It's a pretty hefty chunk of change, put it that way. It's not a small amount. Now there's all kinds of coins in here, and let's see if I can grab this. I got a hold of it. There's even this. This dime, it's not really a drill, it's like a punch. Somebody popped a hole through this, and they probably wore it as a necklace. But it was $1, so nice, not too bad, worn out 64 Kennedy Denver Mint. But I've got pretty much in these bags every imaginable U.S. constitutional coin: barber, dimes, quarters, halves. You saw the barber halves. Walkers, standing liberties, lots of standing liberties. Let's see. Washington's, Roosevelt dimes. There's a barber quarter. There's 3 different quarters. And this little specialized pile here has a seated Liberty dime that's stateless, a quarter that's stateless, a hold and plugged seated Liberty quarter, the most worn out JFK 64D I've ever seen. Pre-33 gold, well, I would love to have some. I could probably make a deal to get some, or buy some, but at the moment I'm really only doing silver. The only gold I have is that ring, and it's 2.5 grams, or pennyweight, I mean. Seated Liberty $50 for a hole, and it's been plugged. And like I said, barber halves, several of them. All these are barber halves. So I got all the different U.S. constitutional coins going all the way back to seated Liberty ones. Now, I don't have any seeded Liberty dollars. You wouldn't be able to get a seeded Liberty dollar cheap enough to throw it in this. I mean, it would have to be holed, punched, and worn out to where all you had was an outline. And even then, it probably wouldn't be that cheap just because it's very old. Now, you go online to eBay, you can find these listed dateless standing Liberty quarters. And the cheapest price I saw on them recently was $6, and I think it might have 50 cents shipping or some such. Usually they're $7 to $8 range. The guy I've been buying them from has been selling them to me between $4.50 or $5, which is cheaper than you can buy them online on eBay. So I'm like, why not? And this stuff, silver like this. And there's a Barber dime that it's just stuff I like to stack. I've always liked Constitutional. And most of the stuff was bought in bulk. There's a 63 Benji. There's several Benjis in this and a lot of walking Liberties. And I have the jeweler coin dealer guy has a bunch of them, like this one, about dateless, or some that are dateless, a whole stack of them that I can get. If he said he's holding them, he's not in any big hurry to sell them, so he said he'd hold them, and I could go and buy them when I want to. So I'm going to keep adding to this until the treasure chest with all the coins in it piles up and over the edge high. Now, surprising enough, all this loose silver, these two rather large bags. I mean, even that one's a fair chunk. I mean, I'm thinking that's probably, I don't know, $25 face, maybe. And this one's probably more like 60. I wonder if that's AG Stacker, the second person that showed up. Hope so, because I have something. I want to see if he notices it. I mean, it's sitting right there in plain sight. I'm not going to mention what it is, but it's something that you ain't seen on my table before. That might help. I'll just set this guy up here if he'll stand. There we go. I'm trying to understand exactly what you mean. If you go to the bank and you ask for and get, I don't know, say a box of quarters, your chances of finding any silver nuts pretty low. Your best bet, well, I probably got, Martin, I probably got at least, I'm saying close to $20 face of standing Liberties in that bag, in them bags. Going to the bank, yeah, I'm here to tell you, your best chance for finding silver, in my opinion, is what that JFK one get off to. It's just here a moment ago. You go to the bank, you ask for $half. Well, they have to have them. They have to order them. Basically, most banks around here don't carry many $half. So, but this is what you would hope to find. You go and you get a bunch of $half, and each row you might find something, or you might just find a whole row of JFK $half that are non-silver. But 65 to 69 are 40%. Now, the 1970 is too, but they were mainly mint products, So they're not ones that you're going to find very often in your change, or not change, but in rolls, because there are not that many of them made either. So, but you could find a 65 through 69 JFK, and that's 40% silver. And the 64, of course, is 90% silver. This would be your best option for finding in a random box of half dollars. You might find some of those, or the 40% ones. You're not too likely to find them very easy though, because people have been doing it for a long time. I mean, finding these in a roll, you'd almost have to go there and somebody say, some customer came in with a couple rolls of half dollars and turned them in, and we took them, and they're just changed, whatever. But I always feel like I don't have enough. I don't have enough of these Benjamins. But since I started doing this treasure chest challenge, I've found quite a few of them. These are usually some of the cheaper half dollars you can get. They're usually always 50 cents or so cheaper than the Walkers for some reason. I guess they're just not as desirable, maybe. But of course, given a choice, I would rather get Walking Liberties than these. But like I said, I don't feel like I have enough of these. I want to get more. When searching, well, what I go here, let's put this up here a second. What I tend to do anymore is, we got a couple coin dealer guys around town, and at least one other guy that does jewelry mostly, and then he sells coins too. I just go to them and talk, and then they oftentimes have tons of stuff to sell. I mean, sometimes more than others. Sometimes you go in there and they ain't got much of dimes, say, but they've got a lot of half dollars. Other times they'll have lots of, and here we go. Here's the dateless Walker. I mean, it's totally scrubbed of date, but it's still 90% silver coin. On this is what they call a washing machine rim. I don't know how well you can see this. There's no reading on it. The whole thing, it just got caught and spun in probably a washing machine until it wore the edges, or a dryer, one of the two. But that was one of the interesting finds I found in this, buying all these coins. Is that one. There's a couple of them in here somewhere that have been polished a whole lot. They're real shiny, like almost look like a proof. I don't think they're in this bag. Probably in the bigger bag. It'd be hard to find. But I'll spread this out a little bit and see if I can't find one or the other. Dateless barber quarter. Let's see. All right. Prepare to be blinded by the light. You can tell this has been polished. It's a 41 Walking Liberty, and it is Denver mint. Very, very shiny. I had some silver pour out of the bag. Very shiny. Let's see if I can't find the Benjamin, because that's the other one. Being that it's so shiny, if I get a glance at it, it will stand out quite a bit. I think it's in this particular bag, but it could be another one. Here it is. Very shiny. That's a Denver Mint one, and it's a 58. But someone polished it up quite a bit. They're not normally this shiny. Even one that is a proof one, they're pretty shiny, but it wouldn't look like this. It'd be a different kind of shine. I don't know exactly how they did shine these two up, but the surface looks different. But that's just the way it is. Anyway, AG Stacker never showed up, but here's what I'm talking about. This is a toothpick holder, coin glass. And it's, you could set a Morgan dollar down in there, but I don't want to get it stuck in there. But he'll just have to notice it in one of my videos. But that's how I acquire most of my coins, through the coin dealer guys. And you can get good ones, you can get beat up ones, and whatever. Sometimes one of my coin dealers will have a sack of these, 40 or 50 of them in a bag at $2.15, $2.10. Most of these that I did buy from him were, I believe, $2.15 was the highest price I ended up paying for them for this. Because my biggest rule about this was no big collectible type coins where they're, high value, cost a lot to get. I wanted them all to be common date stuff that is basically, I have a term for this kind of silver. Common date silver like this is the wavy navy of silver. Because what I mean is, if the price goes like this, the value of these coins goes like that. They follow the value of silver very closely because they're too common. Only when you start getting uncommon coins, like if this wasn't hole punched or drilled and then plugged. If this wasn't plugged, I wouldn't be able to get this cheap enough. It's not a real high. It'd probably be about $15 maybe for this. But that's too much for this. I don't want to pay any more than about $5, maybe $5.25 for a quarter. Now this didn't have the hole. There's no way this would have been cheap enough. It's an old mint, 1856, pre-Civil War. This would have not been cheap at all if it didn't have that. It probably would have been $40, $30 to $40 at least. But since it's damaged with the hole and it's been plugged, it was sold for $12. So I'm like, I'll buy that all day. And this was the best deal on half dollars I got all year so far. $9.25 each. Yeah, they're heavily worn, no doubt about it. They all have their dates, at least enough you can tell what year they are, and enough of the back where you can see the mint marks. Sure, they're beat up some, or a lot basically, and they're black and dirty and toned. But $9.25 each is a cheap price. That's what I did for this. It's all common date stuff or beat up enough it's cheap. Because I didn't want to spend more than about, well, the dollar coins, that's a little bit different story, but most of them were pretty cheap. But I want to spend more than about 20x on the coins. Now, I did push it occasionally. We'll put this comment up. Oh, yeah, they're probably, when I go ahead and do something with some of these, if I decide to trade some of these in to get a more valuable coin, These aren't leaving. These polished coins are going to be in my collection for the purpose of telling people, don't do this. And the hold ones like this ain't leaving my collection. This ain't going to leave my collection. I've never seen a JFK coin worn this much. Never. This ain't leaving my collection. Now, these two and this stack of stuff here, I could see using this as bargaining chips. You know, if I want something that my coin dealer has, and I said, will you be willing to make a deal? I'll trade these in if you'll let me have that coin for this stack of coins. And he'd probably do it because he can turn around and sell bulk coins like this real quick. He's got people go into his shop buying a bag of bulk coins all the time, so he has no problem selling bulk coins. Neither of the coin dealers do, actually. The guy on South 7th will get a bunch of rolls of coins in, and then he'll have a guy come in and buy it all. And that's sometimes when I go in there, he says, yeah, I'm trying to get together X amount of face of coins here. And this guy's going to come in later when I get it and buy it all. So big amounts of bulk silver, they don't have any trouble finding it. They don't have any trouble selling it when they do find it. Now, bar none, this is probably my favorite design of 50-cent coins. I just like the Walking Liberty 37D. A few of these are more pricey, but this one isn't one of them. All these are pretty well common date ones I was able to get from. I think the cheapest I got most of these for is around $10.50. Although a couple dateless ones I got for $8 a piece, but they were worn pretty bad. But anywhere from about $10.50 to right around $12. Now, $12 is the absolute limit on half dollars. Any of them I bought for this. Now, the dollar coins. Let's pull them back over here a second. What a tremendous stack that is of loose, worn dollars. Ones like this, they would be, if you went to somewhere like Amex and they had some like this, they would probably sell them at worse than coal because they're worn real bad. And they would probably want $1 less than our coal ones. Recently, that's been $30-something for Morgan dollars. And the worse than coal were $1 cheaper when they had them. So that's how they'd probably price these, over $30. Well, I didn't pay that much for them. In fact, this was $18. I'm like, well, it's an estimate. Can't tell the date. The date's just barely to the top. And it's a 188 something, I guess. That's what it looks like. Like this drilled. This one pushed my limit a little bit. It's $24. So it's a little bit more than I wanted to spend, but it was cheaper than piece dollars are online. So why not? I think this was 25. It's just 21. There's really nothing wrong with it. So these two were a little bit more than I wanted to pay for coins for this. But yeah, $16 and $17 in January for these two piece dollars. First dollar coins to kick off. This, I remember it being $20. It's got glue on the back. It was probably in a belt buckle. In fact, I have a belt buckle that I can put one of these in. Hold on a second. I'll show it to you. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be this way or this way, but it doesn't matter. This has got a little piece of cardboard, and you'd stick the coin inside the bezel and then tighten it down with screws, and it will look something like this. It's kind of neat looking. It says $20, but I only paid like, I think $4. Pays to be there early. Dropped it on the floor. It won't hurt it though. It might be dented, but who cares? Hope you have a good night, Martin. Thanks for stopping by. This one, I'm trying to remember. It's a 26. It's a little damaged. Someone's X'd the face a little bit. I'm not sure what it cost. An $18 Morgan with a hole in it. Ground off date 21 Morgan dollar. I don't remember, $23, I think. Wait a second. Well, this one's the one on my table all the time. There. Not that one, this. 1878 with a hole drilled in it. But this is a pretty heavy chunk of silver dollars. $13. And that's what I like to do with these. If I'm having them for my treasure chest, they don't need to be in holders. I don't want coins and holders in it because the holders take up extra space. But seems like everybody's ran along, so I'm gonna go ahead and say goodnight, but I'm gonna leave this up for people to watch. I'm gonna suggest going and checking out AG Stacker 1776's channel. Check out Frosty, who sent me more than one different sticker, but I only have 2 showing right now. And we'll set Frosty back here. And then go check out Old Country Coin Collector. I'm gonna go ahead and end my live stream for tonight. But I talked about a few things and showed a couple of new things I got, and I'm going to hope that y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next time.